Hello 171 class, this is another example from 1.9. This is problem number 16. So for this particular problem, we're supposed to take this expanded version of a circle and write it in the standard version that we're used to, with the center and the radius visible to us. So remember, that's the x minus h squared y minus k squared equals r squared form. So that's what we're expected to do here. Now, the way we do it is we group the x's together, leave a space because we're going to have to complete the square to do this, and then do the y's, so plus y squared. There's the 6y. Alright, again, leave a space. That's what we're going to have to add to complete the square. And then this 9, we're going to subtract it from both sides to put it over here on the right side. So that's going to be equal to -9 right now. Okay, now if you remember, what do you have to put in these two places? It's always half of the x and y term, respectively, squared. So this is a 1 right here. Half of -1 is -2. I'm sorry. Half of -1 is -1/2, and then I square that. Right? Negative times a negative is a positive. 1 times 1 is 1. 2 times 2 is 2, or 2 squared. So I add a 1/4 here. Okay, so over here on the right, I'm going to add a 1/4 to compensate. Alright, and then the same thing here. Half of 6 is 3. 3 squared is 9. So it's 9 that I add here. Alright, so I add a 9 here. Okay, this -9 and this +9 are going to cancel. I'll just leave the plus 1/4. And then if you also remember, once you've completed this square, now you're ready to write it in this form. X plus or minus something squared. So what is the thing that joins the x in the parentheses? It's this number, half of the original x term. So x minus a half squared, right? Plus, now we're ready to do the y. Y minus k. The k part that joins y in the parentheses is half of that y coordinate. So whatever we squared right here, so the 3. So that's a y plus 3 squared. You always keep these same signs. Okay, this was a minus x. That's a minus a half. This was a plus 6y. That's a plus 3. Alright, and then what does that equal? It equals, the only thing left over here on the right is 1/4. Alright, so our center, this is the h, x minus something squared. That minus something is the x coordinate of the center, so the center is 1/2. Alright, then y plus 3. Alright, the y coordinate of the center is minus k, the opposite of this number, so the opposite of 3 is -3. Right, and then the radius is the square root of this. Remember, this is r squared. So what we're saying is r squared is 1/4. So r is the square root of a 4th. And if you need to, plug it into your calculator. If you don't know that that's a half, your calculator will. So take the square root of 1/4, and your calculator says that's 0.5, okay? And then if you need to, math 1, change that back into a fraction. Okay, now you know 0.5 is 1/2, but for any other fraction you might get, you can check and see if it is any other decimal answer you might get. You can check and see if it's a known fraction. Typically it's going to ask for it in fraction form. Okay, the radius is a half. So the center is positive 1/2, -3. -1, -2, -3. So there's our center. Our radius is a half. So notice there's a tick mark at each half. So I go up a half, right a half, down a half, left a half. So not a very big circle at all. And I'm going to start in the center. And again, I can go left, right, up, or down. Doesn't matter. I'm going to go left a half. So there's my circle.